You probably find it hard to believe silver could get to $75. I understand you're skeptical, but you did click on this video, so at least hear me out. And maybe, just maybe, you'll change your mind. Neils Christensen, one of my favorite journalists from Kitco, recently put out an article about a Bank of America. Yes, Bank of America, mainstream, major, large bank here in the United States, and they had some very interesting things to say about our old friend silver. Let me read you a few passages from Neil's article. Next month, the United States will celebrate the one-year anniversary of the passage of the Inflation Reduction Act. I'm sure there'll be a lot of fanfare for that. And, according to analysts at Bank of America, its impact on the economy is already evident. Don't worry, we're going to dig into our friend silver. In Bank of America's latest ESG research published last week, the analyst said that in the 11 months since the legislation was passed, more than 270 new clean energy projects have been announced, with investments totaling $130 billion. That is significant right now. This is where it starts to get real interesting. Of this investment, half was earmarked for new renewable energy projects, representing 25 gigawatts of capacity, enough power to power 22 million homes. I want you to think about that for a second. How many homes are there in the United States? I would guess maybe 100 million, 120 million. We have a total population of 330 million. That is significant. That is big and major. But what does that have to do with silver getting to $75? Hold on. The legislation has contributed to a doubling of real manufacturing construction spending since late 2021. According to the research, prices could remain for silver well supported for the next 10 years because of these renewable energy projects, guys, with Bank of America seeing silver as the precious metal with the most significant supply deficit as the U.S. establishes itself as a leader in green technology and the global center for electric vehicles. I'm going to repeat this little part. With the most significant supply deficit, silver supply deficit. There's not enough silver to meet demand. Last year, the World Silver Institute told us there was almost 240 million ounces of silver demanded, more than was supplied. There's more being demanded than the mines and recycling can supply, and that's only projected to get much, much worse. Listen to this. The analyst noted that silver plays a crucial role in solar power and is a critical component in the photovoltaic solar panels. Silver is also needed in electric vehicles and the general electrification of the economy. Bank of America said silver's supply deficit is expected to reach 125% by 2030. That is astounding. What will that do to the price of silver? Look, we don't have to be Harvard-trained economists to figure that out. If there's 125% more silver being demanded in 2030 than is supplied, the price is going to skyrocket. On top of that, we got to factor in investor demand. On top of that, all the other demand for silver. On top of that, factor in that the supply of silver coming from the silver miners is actually going down, down, down. Talk to any CEO, and I talk to a lot of them in the precious metal sector. If you like to talk about silver and you like to talk about higher prices, you found a new place. You found yourself some new friends as well. I want you to come back to Ron's Basement. Please subscribe to the channel, and it really helps if you give this a thumbs up. That gets the word out to more people. Thank you. Silver mining CEOs will tell you, we can't find the deposits, and even if we could find the deposits or had the money to find the deposits, It's going to take us another 10, 15 years to get permitted and build a mine. Look no further than Mexico, just south of the U.S. border. They provide 25% of the world's silver supply. Guys, the ability to build and operate a mine in Mexico has become increasingly difficult. Primarily due to political reasons, they are making it darn near impossible for new mines to be built and to operate. It's almost like they want to shut down the silver mining sector. So when we look at this from a big picture perspective, what are we seeing, right? We're seeing exploding demand. ANZ Bank out of Australia, the second largest bank in Australia and New Zealand, they're talking about silver absorbing 53% of the world's supply, solar absorbing 53% of the world's supply of silver within just a few years. I know, I understand. I've been investing in silver for decades. It seems impossible that we could get to $75 silver, $85 silver. But the reality is, it is possible. Now, look, I don't have a crystal ball. Don't make any financial decisions based upon what I'm saying. I'm not paid to say this to you. It's just what I see and what I believe. And when I look at the prospects for silver, they just look incredibly good, right? The demand going through the roof, the supply shrinking again. We aren't Ivy League trained economists, but we know that basic fundamental that when the supply is going down and the demand is skyrocketing, price fixes everything. And the price is going to have to be much, much higher to fix it at this point. But what's the rest of the story, you might be asking? Is there a negative? Is there a drawback to all this? Well, they did say this. They said, while the green energy transition continues to support silver's long-term potential, investors might have to wait a little while before demand from solar sector picks up. Bank of America said that rapid growth in the industry is expected to start in 2025. Hey, we've been waiting for decades for this to happen, right? What's another couple years? But also remember, markets, silver, gold, any market, but silver, they look into the future. They look around the corner and then around the next corner. And that's how price is determined. So as we have mainstream media, right? Bank of America, one of the largest banks here in America, talking about silver, talking about bright prospects for the silver price, the market will soon start to price in this future increased demand, and we could see higher prices possibly sooner than we may anticipate. We may not have to wait till 2025. Let's touch on electric vehicles because there's an interesting story there as well. According to Bank of America, automakers and their suppliers have announced more than $62 billion of investments. That's more than double the amount of domestic EV investments announced in 2020. Newly announced projects would expand annual battery production capacity by over 1 million EV batteries. 1 million EV batteries. What's in every EV battery? There's some metal that's in most all the EV batteries. Can you help me? Can you figure out what that might be? While also increasing production capacity for chargers and electronic vehicles. Silver's in car batteries. Okay? Silver. As a matter of fact, Toyota Motor Company, the world's largest automobile manufacturer, just came out with some news that they've developed a new battery technology, solid-state battery technology, that relies on a silver carbon component. Every time we turn around, we're hearing about silver being used in this green energy revolution. We hear it from Bank of America. We hear it from ANZ in Australia. We hear it from Toyota Motor Company. Soon, we're going to hear it from a lot more sources. And when all those other people that haven't woken up, like you and I, start to hear it, the price of silver will start to head much, much higher. Thanks for joining me. Come back. Go watch a live stream.